Hey yo, what's good reader fam? Today I'm going to be reacting to some of your bookish pet peeves. Apparently my channel is becoming a react channel, but you guys seem to like these videos and I quite enjoy making them. So as long as you guys enjoy watching them and I enjoy making them, I'll keep making these videos. I went over on my Instagram at jessethereader if you want to follow me, asked you guys to send in your bookish pet peeves, and today I'm going to be reacting to those pet peeves. I'm really interested to see how many of these are similar to my own bookish pet peeves because your boy over here has quite a few of his own. There are a lot of things that drive me crazy surrounding books. Without further ado, let's get started. When I lend a book to somebody and they give it to me 3 months later. I just recently had this situation happen to me where I lent this book out to this person like 5 years ago. Did you hear that? 5 years? And in that time span, you know what I did? I bought a replacement book. I was sure that that book was long gone and was never gonna make a return to my book collection. But 5 years later, it's back only to find that it's been replaced. Truthfully, I could have easily reached out to this person and been like, yo, you done with my book yet? But instead I was like, it's gone forever, I'm never getting it back, I can't ask for it back. Of course, then it came walking through my door like it never left. That's kind of a scary visual when you think about it. I'm like picturing a book growing legs and walking through my door. Good thing books don't have legs. When books don't stay open easily and give me a hand cramp. Ooh, this is a major pain. I've never had it give me a hand cramp before, but it has tested my patience. Oh yes, it has. Even to the point of wanting to throw my book across the room. And you know, it's usually the content of the book that makes me have that reaction where I want to chuck a book across the room. It's hardly ever just like the book itself. But books that can't stay open easily cause an irritation like no other. When the first page is 12 or 21 instead of 1. You see, I actually love this so much because you'll start the chapter on page 12 and it'll end on like page 32 or something. And I don't know about you, but it makes me feel like the fastest reader ever, even though it's not, even though it's cheating the system. It's like so far from the truth. The book just kind of gave you a little boost and made you think that way. It's just because the dang book started on page 12. But I love that feeling of feeling like I've read so much, even though I haven't. I'm actually really curious to know why they do this though. Like, why don't they just always start with the first page being the first page of the story, like it having a number 1 and not a number 12? Why do they count all those extra pages at the beginning? It doesn't make sense. No. When the book repeats certain words a lot, when the book repeats certain words a lot, when the book repeats... Cancel me! This is something that I've become so aware of recently. It's not something that really bothers me that much because it's just something that happens, I can overlook it. But even if the word is only repeated twice on the page, I'm like, I see you. You had that word a few sentences before. Really small print. I'm actually really curious to know if anyone out there really likes small print. Is this an actual thing? Is there like a club out there of people who really like small print? One thing's for sure is that I will not be joining this club because I don't like small print. I am not on board with small print. To be honest, I just find it so distracting. I'm either squinting the heck out of my eyes to read the text, or I'm holding the book way too close to my face. I love being close to my books, but that takes it to a whole nother level. Also, I feel like small font makes it feel like the story is going on and on and on and on and on forever. It's especially a yikes situation when it's not that great of a story. When people hold the corner down while reading. Ooh, I don't understand this one. Not judging you, I just don't understand it. You're saying you don't like when people do this? Or do you mean when people doggy ear the page and they hold down the doggy ear? Knock knock, who's there? Confusion. Confusion who? Confusion you. What? Exactly. When you've got too many books and not enough time. Story of my life. But yes, if there's any pet peeve all of us book lovers share, it's the fact that we don't have enough time to read all the books. Such a sad reality. When people get angry about dog-earing books. When someone makes a dog ear on a page. The amount of dog-earing opinions that came through for this video is unreal. Y'all are either really bothered by dog ears, you're not bothered at all, or you're not bothered at all by dog ears, but you're bothered by the people who are bothered by those who dog ear books. I don't think there's any winning here. My personal opinion is that I don't care what people do with their books. As long as you're not dropping them in the toilet, ripping them to shreds just for the heck of it, or lighting them on fire, I have no problem with you. We can kick it. You want to dog ear that book of yours? You give it a good old dog ear. When we all die someday, nobody's gonna remember if we did or didn't dog ear our books. And if they do, then I think they might have a clearly deep-rooted issue that they need to untangle. People ripping out pages or parts of pages from library books. Yikes, I've never had that happen with a library book I've checked out. But that would be so frustrating, just reading and realizing that a whole chunk of the book is missing because someone ripped out the pages.
Call the popo, we've got a book vandalizer we've got to arrest.
When the synopsis gives away everything. This. And the thing is, you want the synopsis to know what the book is about, obviously, but you don't read it thinking that it's giving away everything in the story. But you read the synopsis, then you read the book, and you realize that the synopsis spoiled the whole thing. Why does this continue to be a thing? You know what I wish that they would do? I want them to start putting a list of buzzwords on the back of a book. Just little words that can kind of give you an idea as to what you're getting into. The Hunger Games. Death. Corrupt government. Romance. That's enough. That's all I need to know. I'm intrigued. Cinder. Cinderella. Cyborg. Mechanic. Romance. A plague. That's all you need to know. The book can still have a description for people who want to read it, but if you just want some subtle hints, give us some buzzwords. I read until I reach an even number or the next chapter. I catch myself doing this from time to time too, and I don't even know why. I guess it's weirdly satisfying to sometimes end on an even number, and weirdly not satisfying to end on an odd number. Why is that? I feel bad for the odd pages, because I feel like I always avoid ending on them. When pages or paperback covers get bent, I hate when paperbacks get bent. My floppy ones are fine, they never really get bent unless I'm like not paying attention and I just like chuck it in my backpack and the next thing I know it's bent. But that's besides the point. It's usually when they're not the floppy kind, like this one kind of has a little flop, but this is one of those books where if you have it open for just a little amount of time, the cover will get bent. So you gotta be really aware of it while you're reading the book if you don't want it to be bent. These kind of books felt like they were made to not be open, which doesn't make sense. I really wish that all paperbacks were floppy and flexible. That would be very nice. When someone doesn't know who wrote their favorite book or don't even bother to know it. I understand not knowing maybe off the top of your head, but not bothering to know? Why would you not want to know? That author could have written more books that you'll love, but how are you even gonna know it if you don't bother to know their name? When someone tries to force their favorite book or genre on you. I mean, I feel like that's literally what all us booktubers do. We just sit in front of our cameras and scream at you to read our favorite books. I will say that I'm super stubborn, so things like this don't really bother me. If somebody's like, read my favorite genre, I'm like, no, I read what I want to read. You want me to read your favorite book? It can wait in line in the pile of unread books that want to be read by me. Library books covering the synopsis with a barcode. Oh dang, that's no good. Unless a librarian specifically put it there because she knows that the description spoils the book, I'm just gonna assume that that's the case. Librarians out there saving the day. We respect librarians who are protecting readers from spoilers. Miscommunication in relationships, not just the romantic ones. This irritates me to no end. I mean, I myself have communication issues in friendships and relationships, but reading about other people having that issue, ooh, it grinds my gears. If they just talk things out, they could fix things. I need to practice what I preach to fictional characters that can't even hear me. When a book breaks its flow, just to make sure that you're understanding the message. I agree with this so much. If you have a message that you want to thread into your story, I feel like it should just reveal itself through the things that are happening. You shouldn't have to jump out of the story and break the flow of the story in order to drill a message. It should just be coming through naturally. Finding a bug squashed inside of a library book. How do you know its last wish wasn't to be buried in a book? And that's the only book its family could find. What about that, huh? All jokes aside, that's a little on the gross side. I hope that never happens to you again. I would not wish that on anybody. Scratch that. I'd wish it on every villain ever. When you want to borrow a book from the library, but somebody's already checked it out. Ah, the worst! A moment of silence for every book nerd who's ever had to face this. Next, thin pages. I'm the same way, and it's interesting to me because I don't mind it with my Bible. Like my Bible, I'm like, yeah, thin pages, I don't mind. But the second a publisher releases a book with thin pages, I'm ready to start a protest. Book covers getting scratched or dented while in my bags during travel. Do your books get scratched in your bag? Are they being dented while being carried around with you all day? Have you ever dropped the book and watched in slow motion as all the pages crumpled up? Now introducing bookcases. They're here to protect all your books from harm. This is not sponsored at all, but this is a solution. You can find these things all over Etsy. I'll leave links to some down below in the description. People shaming you for liking middle grade books in your teens and adult years. I don't really stand by any shaming at all, so yeah, not really down for this whole shaming people for liking books that aren't in their age range. Like, get a hobby, are you that bored? If you're shaming other people for anything, then you have way too much time on your hands. I'm shaming you for shaming other people, even though I just said I'm not down for shaming, but this is different. Shame on you! Buying multiple editions of the same book. Wow, this feels like a direct attack on me. I get in theory why people would be annoyed by this, but at the same time, why is it such a big deal what somebody does with their book collection? I love having 3 copies of The Book Thief. They're each beautiful. They each make me happy. As long as it's sparking bookish joy in my life, I'm gonna continue buying multiple editions of books. Reading a hardback book with the dust cover still on it. Sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. There's not even like a reason in my mind for doing it or not doing it. I just do it sometimes and sometimes I don't. Basically, I make no sense. When the protagonist is supposedly average, but suddenly they're trained in every weapon ever. Wow, you're saying that I have magical powers? One day later, I have perfected my magical powers. I'm ready to take down everyone who crosses my path. I feel like the author doesn't even really need to spend their time like showing us every little detail that goes into them coming into their powers. Like, just kind of give us a montage, but develop the characters into becoming powerful. Don't just have it be an overnight situation. When you're reading your favorite series and you still can't pronounce the names of the people or the places. I feel this on a spiritual level. Even when I look up the pronunciations and I practice, guess who still butchers them every time? Me. When people bend back the cover of a paperback while they read it. Yikes, don't hate me because I've done this before. I actually really like holding books that way too, but I don't do it very often because obviously it damages the book pretty badly. When the spines of a book series don't match together, right? Like when the last book comes out and sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Kingdom of Ash. When the glossy plastic peels off the front cover. I had this happen when I was reading Kafka on the Score. Shore, Kafka on the shore. Spit out your words, Jesse. And I didn't know what to do. There's like a plastic covering on the book and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take it off, but it's definitely coming up off the book a little bit. So should I peel this off? What do I do? This is an emergency. Do I call an ambulance? Help me. When book series are in the wrong order on bookshelves. Listen, I accidentally do this every so often. And what ends up happening is that I'll film a video not even realizing that I accidentally have a series out of order. And instead of the comments being like, wow, this video was great, or I liked this point, I liked that point, I disagree with this point, they all end up being like,
you have this book in the wrong place. Did you know that that book is in the wrong place? You have that series in the wrong order.
And it makes me super sad because I spent a long time planning out a video and then all the comments are about a book series being out of order on my bookshelf. So if you ever see that happen in the background, I can assure you that somebody has already commented about it in the comments. When I buy a book and the next day it's on sale. I hate this so much. Even when it ends up on sale a month later, I am annoyed. You're telling me I could have saved $3 whole had I waited a month? If only I had patience when it comes to buying books. But I got none of that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. There were a lot of interesting bookish pet peeves and I had a good time reacting to them. You guys should let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on dog-earing books. What are your thoughts on this huge controversy in the book world? I am very curious. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright and that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye-oh!